I deserve none of this, that I am none of this breathing, none of the things I'm seeing. I deserve none of it. So I really make sure to put extra effort into thanking the Lord for every day I get to wake up. And this really isn't just like talking out my butt, just just because this is an interview. This is real.
We're here in Baltimore, Maryland. This is the People's Podcast. I'm the Y guy, and you are our Y.
I think in some type of way, I struggle a little bit every day.
I just pray and then put my effort into whatever thing I want to put it into.
Communication is the key to success. I mean, that's what they say.
Absolutely. Yeah, unity is so important.
Hey, everybody, this is the Y guy. We're here in Baltimore, Maryland, and we're here with
Jake.
Jake, how are you doing today?
Cold as a mother.
Yeah, dude, I'm right there with you, man. It's nuts, but we're still out here. We're still kicking. The sun's shining,
yeah.
so look at us go.
Staying dangerous.
Yeah, one of the most positive attitudes, too. I appreciate it so much, man. Thank you.
No problem at all.
Are you from here?
No, I'm not from Baltimore, but I am from Maryland.
Okay.
So just out from the country originally.
I got you. And what did bring you here?
Just becoming homeless, having nothing left for me out there, and then, as I said, being from the country. I mean, it's the bum F middle of nowhere, and there's nothing. Everything. I mean, the closest thing is probably your neighbor, and if you want to ring their doorbell, you just shoot a bullet at them, and by the time the bullet starts to drop, it might hit their doorbell. That's how close everything is, and city has a lot more things.
I got you.
Things to receive help and whatnot.
I got you. And what do you usually do to fill your time every day?
Walk around, run into people, see how they're doing and whatnot. Conversate with random people. It gets really lonely out here, so I do what I can to at least try to conversate, keep my spirits up. Especially if I see somebody that's like down. You can just see it on their face. They're not doing okay, or maybe they're kind of stressed out. I'll just be like, hey, you okay? You might can we talk or something? And I'll even tell them, like, if you do want to be left alone, I totally respect that and let them go about their way if they do, and if they're cool with talking, try to do what I can to at least make them laugh and whatnot.
That's awesome, man. I'm sure they're grateful for you. And even if, like you just said earlier, even if you just acknowledge them in that moment, I'm sure they're grateful for you, even if they don't talk to you. So I appreciate that. We had a great talk inside. So just thank you so much for introducing yourself to me as well.
Like I said, I appreciate the fact that you had even acknowledged me inside, because just being acknowledged out here by anybody, that goes so far with somebody like me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And do you think if your story was told to anybody, it can make an impact on their life?
I think aspects of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I always tell people, like with my story in terms of being homeless, like, say I'm from the country, and our homeless population was like maybe 4.
Yeah.
And I actually knew all 4 of them, and they weren't addicts or anything. 2 of them were alcoholics, but they weren't bad people. They weren't disrespectful. They weren't crazy and, acting out of pocket all the time and whatnot. So I thought I knew what homelessness was, and when I came here to Baltimore, I had zero idea, obviously. And one thing with me was that I noticed people always doing all the time was the boosting. I had explained to you what that was, stealing from the store and then going out on the street to resell it. Now, look, I don't knock nobody's hustle. Everybody has their own hustle. Everybody has certain things. Like for me, I prefer to panhandle, and the other people don't want to do that. They just can't see themselves doing it. But I told myself I need to make a line, some sort of line I won't cross, because unfortunately, and it's the sad truth, majority of the homeless people out here, they've given up on themselves, and they're okay with walking around with no shoes on. They're okay with people laughing at them and talking about them behind their back, and they're okay with just deteriorating and whatnot, and not trying to add any change to it, and just having people walk by them and just in disgust, making disgust faces at them. They're okay with that. And I never wanted to become that. So I told myself I'd make a line that I'd never cross. Something simple, but same thing. At the same time, something everybody's doing. And that's the boosting thing. Something, like I said, it's looked upon as something that's very, very minor. And if I can make a line that I wouldn't cross with something minor, it would be boosting. That way I could at least attempt to prevent myself from... Welcome to Baltimore. So at least I'd have that line to help me attempt not to cross any other further lines of doing something even worse, whether it's by a little or by a lot. And that there is actually, and other people have said the same thing to me too when I tell them that about me, is that it's played a massive part in helping me maintain my sanity. It's helped me maintain being able to still know how to have a friendship and keep people as friends and knowing how to treat others and whatnot, because I've seen it out here. I've seen new people that are homeless come out here and they'll start with the boosting, and they may do that for a little while and they'll always say, oh, I'll never do anything worse, I'll never do anything, even some that's more bad than that. And sure as all hell, what do they end up doing next? Now they're robbing somebody, or now they're doing some other crazy crap, and within a couple months time they look just like all the other homeless people, or the majority of the other homeless people out here. And I mean, they came out here looking good, looking like somebody that you would never think was homeless, and all it took was a couple months time, and it all started with boosting.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, drugs and alcohol play a huge part in all of this, and a lot of that's a whole nother topic. But still, I'm grateful at the fact that I made a line for myself. I made rules for myself, and I've never let anybody peer pressure me to cross those lines. And I'm glad that that has led me into an area of being homeless where my life has been made, I'd actually say, a significant amount easier, only because I've been able to make friends, people that are productive members of society, that have jobs, families, houses, all that, pay rent and whatnot. These are people that want to be around me, that see me, and they're like, oh, hey, Jake, yo, come over here, and talk to me and everything, and always offering me help and whatnot. And you never see that with the other homeless people. So I'm glad that I made these rules for myself, and
Good.
I'm really appreciative of the people that have recognized that in me and take it upon themselves to want to help me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, everything you said right there is huge. But just the faith in boundaries, I think that's one of the strongest things. And if you can have concrete values and actually stick to them, that's one of the greatest things for living a productive lifestyle and creating friendships and building relationships and having communication with people. So I really love that. You had a great message there, Jake. Thank you so much. And what is one thing that you try to do every single day to keep yourself moving forward step by step?
Oh, okay. All right. So this is a conversation I actually had with somebody a couple of months ago, and it's helped me to actually to put more effort into doing this. So
Wonderful.
Sleeping outside is horrific.
Yeah.
It is a jungle. I mean,
Those 20 degrees tonight.
people have come out of prison and said that it is more treacherous sleeping outside here in the city, being homeless, than it is living in prison for years. And that's because when you go to sleep, it's the same concept, but more of it, where you have to keep your head on a swivel at all times. You have to be ready to jump at any given moment. So when you wake up, you got to wake up and you got to see another day. You got to wake up without missing any limbs and without being beat up in your sleep. You got to wake up without being sick, and you got to wake up, being able to live another day. Because I mean, it's like the Nickelback song, every day's a gift and not a given right, and too many people take that for granted. So I make sure that every day I wake up, I do thank the Lord that he woke me up, that he allowed me to get some sort of sleep, at least safely and peacefully, because I'm nobody special. I'm sure as shit nobody that deserves a happy ending or somebody that deserves to be woken up, because like I said, each day's a gift, and I deserve none of this. That I am none of this breathing, none of the things I'm seeing. I deserve none of it. So I really make sure to put extra effort into thanking the Lord for every day I get to wake up. And this really isn't just like talking out my butt, just just because this is an interview. This is real. This is something I think everybody should do, and that helps me to view things in a more positive manner. It helps me to take no for an answer much more easily. It helps me to be way more appreciative of the things that people give me or offer me or try to help me with, and it makes me happy with myself that I can recognize I didn't used to be this way. I didn't used to be as appreciative of things people would give me. I didn't used to be as appreciative of the things I get to see and the air I get to breathe, and now I am, because unfortunately I have to go through this just to be appreciative of it.
Yeah.
But I've made it here, and it's all thanks to the Lord. It's all thanks that he gets to wake me up every single day, and he chose me, of all people, of all the people that died in their sleep, of all the people that didn't get to wake up, he chose me to wake up in the morning. And like I said, I know I'm a good person, but dealing with depression and other mental health issues, I always feel like I'm not somebody that does deserve it, but I can never be more appreciative of the fact that I was allowed it.
I love it, man. Thank you so much for that
Yeah.
message. And I always tell them, man, people around here just listen and learn for like the little nuggets of everyone. It's like a smorgasbord, pick and choose. That's probably the deepest and most sincere one that anybody could ever relay to another person. So thank you so much for that. Do you think in communication, there's a good power in communication and building relationships?
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes, my dude. I cannot tell you. Oh man, this all falls back down onto homeless people that never really receive much of any help from the people that are productive members of society and not homeless. And it's because, like I said, most of them are a bunch of crudballs. They're not appreciative. They're not, and they cannot accept no as an answer. They have to be real pushy, like, hey, I'm trying to make a couple dollars so I can get something to eat. Most times they're obviously just trying to get drugs or something. But regardless, if somebody gives them some money, they'll always say a set number. I always see this. They say a set number, and they'll be given $1 instead of the $4 or $5 they asked for, and then they'll be like, well, you got a couple more dollars? Like, I just only need a couple more dollars. Or they'll say, I don't have any change, Or be like, but I just saw you put change in your pocket or whatever. Be like, yeah, but that's for my kids. But please, I really need it. Please. It's like, bro, chill out. Calm down. Like, just take no for an answer. It's okay. Like, that's theirs. It's their stuff. And in no way, shape, or form is you, yourself, or I involved in the word there. So
Yeah.
just calm down. Things will work out in the end. Respect what somebody says to you. Respect their answer, because all you're gonna do is make things worse for yourself in the future.
Man, thank you so much again. Every answer you've given so far has so much heart into it, and so much value to be added to the person that's going to be sitting on the other side of this screen. So I really appreciate it so much. Do you think in goal setting is necessary to inspire action and keep moving forward?
Yeah, like I said, that I guess was talking about in the beginning where I drew that line. I wouldn't cross that.
Very much so.
That really, like I said, that has definitely, absolutely played a part in helping me again maintain my sanity and helping me to maintain the understanding of basic common rules for social skills and understanding social cues and whatnot to help me further making friendships in the future with people that could benefit me. Now, I know that sounds really selfish, but being homeless, you need to get as much help as you can. And I genuinely cherish the friendships that I make out here much more than the help I receive. And that's because I'd much rather, for me, somebody telling me my worth is there and that I have reasoning to be alive, and that somebody telling me I'm a good person, that'll always mean so much more to me than coming from my friends than them giving me $1 or $2 here and there. Always. Wow. I always cherish the memories I make with people much more than $1 or $2.
Huge.
So yeah, set goals. Definitely set goals for yourself, because if you and make lines that you won't cross, and don't allow peer pressure to allow you to falter over that line, because the moment you do, it's just a downhill slope. I've seen it far too many times with too many people.
Yep, that's huge too. So my last question is, you think a message like unity in today's world can make an impact in our culture or just community?
Oh, yes, I do. Unity is something that everybody needs, but so many people, especially in the homeless community, so many of them are stuck in me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
And what I can get out of somebody, and how much can I get out of somebody with giving as little as possible. And that destroys any type of unity and connection you could have with somebody. That destroys any type of possible friendship you could have in the future. Basically, it's like a seed that you plant in the ground, dude. If that seed is a friendship you're trying to make blossom, if it's a seed, sorry. If you put a seed in the ground and you want that seed to blossom into a friendship with said person, you got one or two things you can do. You can put as much effort into that seed as possible and water it daily and allow it to get as much, and find a spot for it to receive as much sunlight as possible. Mm-hmm. Or you could just throw it into a pile of manure, put it in a tiny little cup, and throw it into the back of a closet. Which one you think is going to grow better? It's all about the work and the effort you put in. That'll determine how strong your connection with somebody will be, how big and beautiful that seed blossoms.
Man, I think this was probably one of the most raw interviews I've gotten for like just the true depth of just like, seriously, like for like just daily life and commitment that a lot of people just don't even ever see, or or they forsake because they're doing their own life. They got busy things going on, so they miss a lot of this kind of stuff. But for the human relations and the interactions that you deal with daily and the words that you were able to offer in this interview, I don't think I could have ever asked or even written a better script, for what you just said. So thank you so much, Jake.
Yeah, it's no
That's
problem at all.
everything. I really appreciate it. Might we get a hug from you?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm glad I got to
Wonderful.
talk about this.
Thank you for watching this interview. We hope and pray that this story could help you, encourage you, or inspire you to take action in any way. We challenge you to see yourself in every interviewee, and we challenge you to get out and talk to one new person every single day. If this impacted your life in any way, please like, share, and subscribe. We're posting one new video every single day, Monday through Saturday. Thank you so much for your time. This is the People's Podcast. We're praying for you always.
Man, that's deep.